This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
And boom! Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
1 year ago, we knocked on the door. This year, we beat on the door. Next year, we're going to kick the son of in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about...
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's a Texas, probably in Tennessee, that said, fool me once, shame on you. To fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Nobody cares.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Stan Barrero. How do you like me now?
And listen to Cooley.
You find this funny, Mr. Groh? You're smiling. Do you find this humorous? No, they're not. Do you find this humorous, Mr. Groh? You're laughing and smiling. I'm just wondering if you do. You didn't answer my question, Mr. Groh. Do you find this humorous?
No, I find it keeping a 4-year show.
At least you're not smiling and laughing now. Oh, I guess you're back at it again now.
Here we go.
I'm a
fraud.
Well, yes. Yeah. It's been established.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
It's a jam-packed, action-packed Rock Talk at 1:30, Rosen at 2, before and after. No, because there won't be an after, but after will be Big Ticket and JG. The Common Man program at 5, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. 2-1. Greetings, good afternoon, Akadak. Wow. And National Hockey League playoffs begin. So do the NBA Finals. That's tomorrow. Did I hear that promo right? Is the hockey tonight? Is that game 1 tonight?
Game 1 tonight, yeah.
Game 1 tonight. NBA will have their game 1 tomorrow night. Minnesota Twins, I think they won again. That's all they do is win, right?
Yes.
Though we had some troubling news with one of our starting staff. And the celebration has begun. We're going to have, if you like parades, we're going to have a parade for Royce Lewis for finally getting a hit. He had a double, and everybody's really excited about that. Odas continue. We have so much to get to. Where do we begin? Let's spin the wheel of topic.
Wheel of topics.
I want to talk Odas. I love football talk.
Commons golf game.
Oh.
What'd you shoot today?
80.
Where'd we play?
Prestwick had Wedgwood and Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on 1?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green was it?
Had a 9-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
Short of the green, right, with a 9-iron.
Right or left?
Right.
Then what?
Awful chip.
Then what?
2-putt for bogey.
Well, there's that.
Through 12 holes, when I got to 12, I stuffed a wedge in to a foot for tap in to go to 2 over. I was playing Prestwick. Over the last 6, it was like I was at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I started leaking oil all over the golf. After the birdie to get to +2, I went bogey, 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 double bogey, the par 5 16th, par, bogey. I mean, now I take solace from it because, can you look up the word solace? Did I even use that? Did I just make up a word? SOLACE. Solace. Maybe that's one of the 9 planets. You have Neptune, Jupiter, Solace, Saturn. Thank you. Solace.
Solace. Solace.
Comfort in sorrow, misfortune, or trouble, alleviation of distress or discomfort.
I can alleviate some of my distress and discomfort by saying at least I played the first 12 holes really, really well because I've been so bad for a month and it wasn't really, and here's the bad thing, I made bogey on 8 and 9. I made bogey on 8 and 9, and on 8, I had 8-iron in my hand and missed the green. And then on 9, I had a 9-iron in my hand and hit it in the water. I mean, those 2 holes are usually where you walk off 7 plus 1, you're thinking, I'm going to go par for sure, if not birdie par. I've gone birdie on those 2 before. I'm licking my chops. I'm thinking, stop the presses. Tenneby's going to have to put Nothing's Going to Stop Us Now montage together for me, that whole thing. And then it
seems like you were like the Wolves in the regular season, that when you had the less difficult holes,
yes,
you struggled, and then you had the tough holes, you performed well against those.
That's exactly, I've got wolfitis. That's exactly what it is.
Because even just the last 3 holes, doubling the 2, you had the 2 par 5s, you doubled 16, you bogeyed 18.
Yes.
And yet you parred 17, which is the long par 3.
Correct.
That's a challenging hole.
And you know what I did on that one? You'll love this. I hit it was playing like about 200, and I don't have a 200-yard club in my bag. If I...
You're a driver.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
if
I've seen you hit driver on that hole before.
Yeah, if I hit the 2 hybrid really well, I can get it 195, maybe 200. So I just hit a 3/4 knockdown punch cut fade driver to about... was a little short of the green. I gave up on it, but then I got up and down, hit a nice pitch and made the putt and, that kind of a thing. But baby steps. We're broadcasting live. Just a quick note. It's Golf Day Minnesota on Saturday. You'll be playing golf. Did you tell you what? Well, it's Golf Day Minnesota. I've got to play. Let me ask you something. When it's hockey day in Minnesota, do you play hockey? Of course you do. You got to tell her golf is just as important, and that on golf day in Minnesota, you need to play golf.
I would like to, but we have a baseball tournament with 2 games that day.
You're going through the kids' stuff, yeah. And that's all right. That's good. I know it's enjoyable. I actually would rather watch my boy play, back when he was playing basketball. I'd rather watch him play basketball than play golf. I really would. It's so much fun watching your kids.
I'd rather watch him play baseball than watch my own ball flight on golf.
Yes, yeah. I love watching my kids play.
I get more angry watching my ball flight.
There's nothing better for me than watching my boy play basketball. Now with Deuce, it was soccer, and I'd rather play golf than watch my boy play soccer. Sorry, soccer is one of those.
Well, cross country's not.
Well, then cross country was even, it
not
was
the best for viewing.
He was soccer at first. He played a lot of soccer. I did the old lawn chair. And the thing is you learn, when you first become a sports dad, like I didn't know, so you go to your first soccer game and you just go to the soccer game. Then you look around and go, guess I need a lawn chair, because I didn't think lawn chair. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm standing while everybody else has lawn chairs. And then you even learn better than that. First you get just a regular lawn chair, one of those ones that collapses relatively easy. You use it once and then you toss it. Then you move on to the kind that have the footrest, right? And then you even take it one step further, and you one that has a canopy over the top of you.
And it rocks a little bit.
Yes, it's just so nice. So it's like having you buy a car that the only added extras are the keys and a heater. That's all you got, right? And then all of a sudden you upgrade and you got heated steering wheel, you've got tilt wheel, right? The whole thing. And same thing when you get to heated seats. So then what you do is when you get to the soccer thing, all of a sudden you get the Cadillac of lawn chairs, and it's just so good. But now I've got like 4 of those lawn chairs just sitting in the corner of the garage, just taking up space. They're just collecting dust because I don't do that. And then you're right. The thing about cross country though, and track, because they're all timed events. I mean, unless they're like shot put, that's a measured event. But the running events are all timed, right? And they just run like clockwork. So if Deuce says, yeah, I'm running the 4x800, it starts at 5:15. It starts at 5:15.
Yes.
It starts at 5:15. So you can roll up at 5:05, get out of your car. By the time you get to the field, it's about 5:12. You get Deuce's attention. You wave and you mouth, good luck. He gives you the thumbs up. He takes off running, right? He does it. Finishes wherever they finish. And then you just, when he's done, you kind of walk up to him and go, you getting a ride home with the team, or do you need...
No chance.
Or do you need me to take you home? He goes, I'm riding with the team, and you turn around, you leave. It's just the easiest sporting event to watch.
Get in, get out.
No, cross country is the same. If it starts at 4, it starts at 4. And a cross country race is, depending upon how fast your kid is, it's 13, 14 to 20 minutes, right? So you look at your watch, you show up at 5:10, you mouth good luck, he runs, and then you don't go, there's some people that will go to different points on the course to go watch him go by. Well, I'm not that into it. So it's not like it's sort of like shoot. Am I supposed to go run? I mean, it's just, he knows.
Faster!
Yeah, he knows. So then you just go to the finish line and you do the same thing. Great job. You need a ride home. You're going with the team. See you later. So those are the sports that are really fun. There's
the problem with baseball is you don't know when it's exactly going to end. Exactly. I know they kind of have like 2-hour time limits where the inning has to start at a certain time. But then you also have to drop them off an hour before the game. I mean, it turns into a 3-hour night, and it's just like, how do I organize what we're going to eat for dinner, because I don't know what time the game's going to end, and it takes up the entire night.
These are the controversial moments that come with parenthood. We'll break. We'll come back. We got plenty to get to, believe it or not. I know it doesn't sound like it, but we do, including controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break. It's the Common Man program on the Fan.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out. But no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Get ready to experience the magic of James Taylor live in concert.
James Taylor.
Don't miss out on seeing the legendary singer-songwriter along with his all-star band when they take the stage at XL Energy Center on June 17th. Tickets are still available. You can get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
James Taylor with rockin' hits like Just Yesterday Morning, They Let Me Know You Were Gone.
That was his first big hit. Fire and Rain, 1970 or 71, I believe. And I got to admit, after that, I can't name another James Taylor song, though he is very talented. He had a brother named, I shouldn't say had, I believe his brother's still alive, who was also a singer-songwriter and tried to follow him. The thing is, he sounds almost exactly like his brother, so it just was like, it was almost like a cover brother band, right? My brother toured with him. My brother was the opening. My brother opened for all sorts of musicians over the years. That's the way he used to do it back in the olden days. They would have a comic do 20 minutes. Now, I don't know if I can go forward until I know James Taylor's brother's name. But James Taylor, a lot of people like James Taylor. A lot of people will be going.
Is it Livingston?
That's it, Livingston Taylor. That's exactly it. And my brother toured. I I didn't get to know Livingston Taylor well, but I was there for several shows, and so we chit-chatted quite often. It's time for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. If you're planning backyard barbecues or evenings under the stars, don't forget the most important part: safe outdoor power. Outdoor receptacles exposed to the elements can become serious hazards if they're not up to code or they're outdated. Call Affordable Electric, family-owned and operated, for a pro evaluation to make sure your outlets are safe, grounded, and ready for all your outdoor fun. Stay shock-free and worry-free. Affordable Electric. That's affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And remember, oh boy, here it goes again. Oh boy. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. I brought this story up, I think, with you or Mark Rosen, and I didn't dive deep into it because I couldn't remember all the details. But this is one. Here's the headline tend to be: Vikings reportedly concerned with J.J. McCarthy. Now, I'm assuming it's clickbait, and the guy wants, what do they call them, hits? Or no?
Sure, yeah, clicks.
Clicks. He's looking for clicks. He's trying to prop up sagging click numbers, right? Story reads as follows. Minnesota Vikings are entering a new era of football in 2025. A new quarterback is taking over the proud NFC North franchise. Are we really that proud? I think we're blushing with pride. The second-year signal caller, J.J. McCarthy, expected to be the starter. Despite having an interest in re-signing Sammy Darnold, old Sam Darnold Old Sam Darnold has an arm, E-I-E-I-O, with the pick six here. The Vikings saw their starting quarterback from last season leave to sign a 3-year deal with the Seahawks. They were also unable to retain Daniel Jones in free agency. Rumors surrounded Minnesota and Aaron Rodgers for some weeks during the offseason, but the team ultimately decided to go in a different direction. Instead, the Vikings acquired Sam Howell from the Seahawks. McCarthy is the clear-cut favorite to be the Week 1 starter. Minnesota's taking a major leap of faith in its young quarterback. However, one NFL insider has revealed some concerning thoughts about the Vikings quarterback situation. I love this. I love when people like to stir the pot. Do you know who Ross Tucker is?
Yes.
Is he a gadfly? Does he stir stuff? Is he legit? Do we know? Do we have any indication?
I think he's legit. I don't know if he's a gadfly or a pot stirrer, but...
Ross Tucker's spoken out about McCarthy, Minnesota. He doesn't think the Vikings are extremely confident in the young signal caller. Here's what Tucker said. No matter what the Vikings say about J.J. McCarthy, they wanted Darnold back. And then when they weren't going to get Darnold back, they wanted Daniel Jones back. As much as they're sold, in quotes, on J.J. McCarthy, they weren't that sold. So the Vikings have some doubts. Tenneby, do you think the Vikings have some doubts? Because they say all the right things. Matter of fact, I saw one of those, what do you call them, aggregate accounts? Like Purple Praise Forever or something like that, or Purple Flavor of the Day. And they were going over Oda stats. Oda. He was 16 for 17.
Ridiculous,
yeah. With like 6 tutties and no picks. Well,
nobody's rushing the quarterback.
That's it. What do you mean? How do you even print that stuff? It's meaningless. But do you think it's a possibility the Vikings have some doubt about a guy we call J.J. McCarthy?
Can I go Rosen on this and go both sides?
Yeah.
And just flip-flop on this?
Yeah, we'll do a little flip-flop.
Because the first part about him saying they wanted Sam Darnold, they could have had Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, what are you saying, a 3-year...
$100 million, roughly. Yeah.
Was it 3? Yeah, like... That was reasonable enough that if the Vikings wanted him that badly, they could have... I'd like to think that Darnold, if he would have got an equal contract offer, would have taken the Vikings over the Seahawks, right?
I agree. Yes, I think
you had success
right.
there. You got the quarterback whisper. You're not going to move... You know how far it is to go to Seattle. That's got a good 4,000 miles to get out to there.
That's correct.
So if they wanted him, they could have kept... I'm guessing they wanted him to a certain extent. They might have wanted him for a 1-year deal, but... They didn't want him long-term. They didn't want to commit to him long-term because they had to have had a level of confidence in J.J. McCarthy that they think he can be the long-term answer. Now, on the other side of it, are they just 100% all in on J.J.? I'm sure there's still a little bit of doubt. Until you see him in an NFL game, you're going to have a little bit of doubt, and you're going to try to... Right? They were reportedly interested in Daniel Jones. They reportedly offered Sam Darnold a 1-year deal to come back here. They've been in Aaron Rodgers rumors. They've been in Kirk Cousins rumors. So I could see them liking J.J. McCarthy, but also going, well, it'd be nice to have a little bit of insurance here, or maybe if we could have someone come in for a year and then give J.J. a chance to grow into the position. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to kind of take both sides. But ultimately, there have been a lot of quarterbacks that have been available in free agency. And what have they done with that? Nothing. So they had to have had enough confidence in J.J. McCarthy that they didn't feel the need to go spend elsewhere.
Here's what I'll tell you, too, and I don't mind that approach. I really, truly don't. You know, I know everybody wants to see McCarthy. I think we all do. We're all curious to see, can he take the success that he had in high school and college, and can he roll that over into the National Football League? And most people believe he will. And you know, I don't know how good he will be. I don't think he's going to be a bust. That being said, I don't know if he's going to be Tom Brady. He's probably going to be somewhere in between. You hope closer to Brady than bust, but I don't know. But I don't mind a guy. And then there's the old, well, you want to get the most out of him while he's under his rookie deal. That's the ideal thing, is to get him on his... You want him on his rookie deal. That's really ideal because... then you can spread money elsewhere like they've just done. By not signing Darnold, by not signing Rodgers, and Rodgers said he'd play for $10 million, but let's say he would have played for more than that. Well, now you were able to go out and get some offensive linemen, some defensive linemen. You were able to get a running back from San Francisco. You were able to pay some other players money that helped the team overall. So that's the ideal situation. But that being said, if you've got some salary cap room and you're able to have a guy ride the pine for a couple of years, that's not a bad choice either. We've seen other quarterbacks thrive in that situation, including Aaron Rodgers, sat for 3 years? Jordan Love sat for a few years. Players do sit. Now, you hope your guy's so good he doesn't need to sit. He can step right in like the kid for Washington did, right? He steps right in. Yeah. He's brilliant, you know. Not every guy can do that. That's not to say that a guy that doesn't step in right away can't be as good as, who's the kid for Washington? Jaden Daniels. That's not saying that a guy that waits a couple of years and plays can't be as good as Jaden Daniels, because Jaden Daniels started right away. It's just different ways to go about it.
He also started right away because he was 23 years old. J.J. McCarthy was 21. So, I mean, J.J. McCarthy this upcoming season is still going to be younger than Jaden Daniels was last year.
Yes. You're getting nominated for PST. Seattle is actually 1,650 miles, Tennessee. That's all the further it is, just so you know.
I didn't realize that.
Geography isn't your strong suit. We know that. You're not a GPS mind, so that's a great thing, too. We'll pause. We'll return. By the way, a peek at the purple brought to you by Affordable Electric. Visit them at affordable-electric.com. Hockey talk, 2 controversial items, and they're both disappointing for the state of hockey. And we'll explain on the other side of the break on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out, but no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Farm Aid 40 is coming to Minneapolis.
Farm Aid 40.
Join Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson on the road again.
Neil Young.
Southern Man coming.
Dave Matthews.
I don't know any Dave Matthews.
Crash into me.
Crash into me.
And more. Saturday, September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Celebrate 40 years of music, food, and family farming. Tickets go on sale May 16th. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keep your calendar.
I know the Dave Matthews Band was wildly successful, Tennessee. Really not in my era, my wheelhouse. My personal jukebox ended in 1971. You a Dave Matthews guy? Were you a fan?
No, but it's very huge with my generation.
Right.
Lots of friends that are into him big time. I think they're a little overrated. But
it's real huge with your what?
Generation
is what it is. Quick text message that I'd like to address here on the Common Man program reads as follows. It's the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. You guys are giving the clickbait article oxygen it doesn't deserve. 2 things. Well, I think it's worth discussing, because I think what the Vikings have been, the purple propaganda we get out of the new Winter Park is he's the greatest thing we've ever seen. And I know they're not going quite that far, but they're talking about how wonderful he is. And I think, and maybe he is, but I also think some of that's partly wishful thinking and putting a nice spin on things as the season starts and giving the kid confidence. The other part of this, though, is even the larger part, is it ate up a segment. That's really why we did it. So it certainly did give oxygen to an article that might not be worth what the words the ink it's written with. But it also ate up a segment, and that's what the...
You know how much in sports, like, we're giving oxygens to things that don't... What's that saying?
Things that don't deserve it, don't deserve oxygen.
Like Aaron Rodgers would be a good example of that.
Yes, correct. Love is like
Angel Reese.
Oxygen. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of those things out there, and that's what we do. Tennessee, I know there was a... And I don't think this player would have made the difference between, finishing, struggling to get a wild card spot and planning our parade route. But a kid named Brock Nelson, you thought, I
was convinced.
You were convinced, and so were many others, that the Wild had zeroed in on him and that he would be a nice addition. I think he's a little on the older side, but he's a very talented center, and he will not be coming to Minnesota. Is that correct?
Yeah, he signed a contract, so he was due to become an unrestricted free agent, but he re-signed with the Colorado Avalanche. 3 years. I think he's getting 7.5 AAV per year. So he was with the New York Islanders. He got traded to the Avalanche before the trade deadline. Didn't go great for him in Colorado, but that was a bad trade for the Wild when he got sent to the Avalanche before the trade deadline, because now it's almost like they got a little head start on, letting them know what they're all about and potentially keeping him in the offseason, and that's what they ended up doing. So I'm guessing he got more money than maybe probably the Wild would have wanted to offer him. And let's face it, a better chance to win a Stanley Cup in Colorado. So he didn't get to free agency.
Yeah.
And I think if he had, the Wild would have had lots of interest, and I'm assuming he would have had lots of interest.
Now
we got to go to plan B on how to fill the center spot.
We probably should give credit was due. I think it was you forwarded me a screenshot of a Michael Russo tweet with that story, right?
I think so.
I don't think it was Russo broke it. I think it was Jed and Jethro of, what are the call letters?
I think it's K-High.
K-High. I think they broke the story. So I want to give credit where credit's due. I think it was a few minutes later.
B-Rock Nelson.
Right, where Russo found out about, but let's give credit where credit's due. K-High Radio.
Yeah, K-High broke it.
Jed and Jethro broke that story. The other story, Tinneby, was brought up to me by one of the members of the coroner's office, the only one that's here today. Yeah, on the day the franchise is burning to the ground, where do you think the program director is? He's in a boat somewhere on a lake fishing, wetting a line, trying to catch some brown fish, and I'm a green fish guy. He's probably in one of those Aluma crafts, and I'm a Lunds guy. And then I think he's got a Mercury motor, and I'm an Evinrude guy. And get this, he's using a Zebco 404, and I'm a 202 guy. That's why we never go fishing together. You out of your mind? There's going to be an expansion draft for the PWHL. Two teams being added, Seattle and Vancouver. And if I heard right, the current teams can only protect 3 players? Is that right? That doesn't seem right, if it is right.
So the PWHL's expansion rules are confusing.
Okay.
I've read them a couple times, and I still don't know if I 100% understand it, other than each team, each of the original 6 teams, they get to protect 3 players, and then there's like a signing, there's a signing time, and then there's an expansion draft. And after Seattle or Vancouver snatch up 2 players from the Frost, they are then allowed to protect a 4th player, but then Seattle and Vancouver can then go get more players on the roster. So, as a Wild fan, when you saw the expansion rules the Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets had, compared to what we've now seen with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Seattle Kraken, it's been immensely easier for those 2 teams right out of the gate. They got much more favorable expansion rules than the Wild and the Columbus Blue Jackets did. And then this appears to be even
beyond the pale.
Beyond.
Yeah.
You're losing legit quality players on your team, and both teams should have a full team of, they should have more depth than the original 6 right now.
But when you are just starting teams and just starting a league, do you think this might be the best way to do it? Because the folks in Seattle and Vancouver probably will be more excited about their team when they go, hey, we're not just, a real expansion club like you say, where it's like you're basically getting a handful of quality players and then you're on your own after that. Or do you think this is inherently unfair?
This just seems completely way further down the road.
That way?
Yeah, it's too far.
Well, we'll see. I guess I don't know. I have to see how it shakes out. I tend to kind of like the idea of making those teams competitive right away instead of having
I'm fine with them being competitive. Yeah. This isn't about being competitive. This is about they're going to be easily winning. If they do it the right way, which they should, they should be able to construct a roster better than any of the current teams out there.
Let me ask you another question. Getting back to Brock Nelson.
Yeah.
There are some that feel if he could skate like you, he would have made $10 million a year. Do you think that's possible? You're in there. How did you say it the other day? You're in there.
I said skating-wise, I'm in the ballpark.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. Do you think you're in Brock Nelson's ballpark?
No, I do not.
No, okay. Just thought it.
There's probably not any element of my game that's in his ballpark.
Now, here's a text message that says, with Nelson off the board, does that make Rossi more likely to stay? Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if it does. I mean, you could look at it as, hey, that's one less center that you were targeting that's off, that you don't have a chance at. But just from, Russo and Joe Smith just wrote a story within the last hour or so that's up on The Athletic right now about where we're at with the Russies. It appears to me that they're just so far off on salary demands that I don't even think it matters who's available, who's not available. I just don't think Bill Guerin is going to make a desperation move. On Rossi's side now, at least according to the Russo story, Rossi's agent is like, well, we're not doing bridge anymore because you just showed in the playoffs that you moved him down to the fourth line in the playoffs. He was playing 11 minutes in the game. So why would we take a short-term deal with, a coaching staff that apparently doesn't believe in him that much? Like, you got to show it's the old Kirk Cousins. It's not about the money. It's about what the money represents.
Right.
The last thing Rossi wants is to take a short-term deal, get stuck in your bottom six for the next 3 years, and then now you don't have much value come free agency. This is his time to make some money, and I think they're going to try to put the hammer down. They're going to try to make sure they get a good deal. So it's going to be a long-term deal, and it sounds like Guerin doesn't want to go over Boldy's contract, which is completely understandable. I wouldn't want to go over Boldy's contract. Boldy's a better player than Marco Rossi. So it just sounds like they're going to be so far apart that doesn't mean he's gone, because you still have to find a trade partner somewhere else, and it has to be a fair trade for you to make. Rossi still is under contract I shouldn't say under contract, but he's a restricted free agent, so it's not like he can just go anywhere right now.
All right.
But he can, you get to a certain point where he can sign offer sheets from somebody else.
One other text message said, the Avs saved the Wild from doing something stupid. Are those that, because is Nelson a little up there in age too?
He's 33.
Okay.
Which he still should have a couple years left. And that's what he signed for. He signed a 3-year deal. The $7.5 million, and I guess that's just, when you get to free agency, you just have to overspend on players.
Yeah, right.
That would not have been the number I would have looked for to have him here. So from that aspect of it, sure.
Phil Miller writes for the Fish Wrap Factory on the West Side. I don't want to call him a utility man, but I think he writes a lot of different subjects. I don't think he's not like a beat writer. He writes for a lot of different sports here in town. He did the Twins piece, Dateline, West Sacramento, California. Headline: Twin starter Pablo Lopez likely headed to injured list. The All-Star right-hander suffered a strained latimus muscle in the back of his pitching shoulder. I didn't even know I had a latimus muscle. Maybe I don't. It says Pablo Lopez threw a warm-up pitch before the 6th inning Tuesday night, and then a couple more. Then he stopped and considered all the ways the next few minutes might go. Maybe he'd be fine. Maybe he'd pitch another scoreless inning. Or maybe not. Here's the quote. In my head, I'm like, well, if it feels sore, if I tried to make a max effort pitch to get the inning started, who knows what could happen? Those split-second scenarios where you start hearing both sides. Oh, just power through it. It's nothing. Or it could be something terrible. He decided that something is the better part of valor. Common sense, safety. I've used the saying before. I was using it a lot because I just thought it was cool.
Discretion?
Discretion is the better part of valor. And I think he made the right choice, Teneby. He'll undergo a more extensive examination today, but he sounded resigned to his second stint on the injured list as a Twin. He went on to say, just having an understanding of the shoulder area, what goes on back there, it feels like if I were to do a lat pull down, I would be like, yep, that doesn't feel too good. The one thing is we don't know how severe it is. Obviously, tomorrow, imaging, doctors' opinions, getting looked at, and we'll see what the plan moving forward will be. I like being more cautious here, especially it's not like, well, we got to win this game, and even then, when you're talking about long term, if you put it back up there, like he says, what if something pops and all of a sudden you go, oh boy, you're out for the year, or you're out 3 months, or you need surgery. Have you seen anything on social?
Not today, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there would be yet. He got credit for the win. That would be his 5th. His ERA is a sparkling 2.82, and he said it was tightness in his shoulder. So, it's unfortunate, but the starting staff has been good. That means it'll be either I think David Festa or Simeon Woods Richardson.
Yeah, they'd sent Simeon down last time.
It's one of the two is probably going to take his spot in the rotation. The other Twins story, they won. Headline reads as follows, and this is also Phil Miller. He was on double duty. He did 2 stories. Royce Lewis ends his skid. Willie Castro homers twice. Twins rout the A's 10-3. Royce Lewis stopped an 0 for 32-6 with a 2-run double. Was in the 7th inning. Rocco says, that was a really important swing for us in that game for the team, but also an important swing for him. Something you can stand on. You can enjoy in some ways, but also build upon. We've talked about Royce a lot lately. He's been working hard. He's been preparing to be able to go out there and do those things and play like that. You could see in his face, he looked real pleased, and he should be. A double. Imagine, Tennessee, what the reaction would be here if I put in just one good show. That would be equivalent.
I'd be shocked.
Double. You'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I think
a segment at this point.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, baby steps, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with a good segment. Let's not jump ahead to a good show. The excitement over one hit. He was 0 for 30 earlier this year. No, was that last year? He's had 2 0 for... I
think it was this year.
Yeah, he had 2 0 for 30 streaks. He had one this year.
I think it was like 0 for 34.
Yeah.
Or was it 0 for 36?
But you know what I think, and maybe I'm wrong.
Because the Twins' record is 0 for 40.
Yeah. I think it was Butch. I love that kid Weiniger. But maybe somebody can correct me here, or maybe I should go back and maybe I should just pay closer attention. Instead of skimming the sports page, I should eat it and devour it. I thought maybe the first streak was like over 2 years, like the end of last year and the start of this year. But regardless, he did finally end that streak. And
yeah, it was over 2 years because I remember it saying 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
So yes.
So that's a good thing.
Well, the swing he had, when he hit it, I didn't think that thing, I thought it'd be caught by the center field. It didn't he didn't seem like it ended up going off the wall, but it seemed like he kind of lunged at it and didn't get all of it, and the thing just kept carrying. But baseball is as much of a game of confidence as any sport out there.
Yes, you are spot on.
So,
yeah, Butch Weiniger went 0 for 40, catcher for the Twins, 1978. Jerry Zimmerman, that's old school, 1967. I think he was also a catcher. He went 0 for 37. And then Royce Lewis, like you say, 2024, 2025, 0 for 36. This is not a list you want to be on, obviously. It's not. It's
not on there twice.
Yeah, and he's on there twice. I thought I saw a quote from... I thought it was a good quote from Lewis. Maybe it was in the game, or he said something about it's just nice to see the ball hit a wall, grass, or dirt rather than somebody's glove, which I'm sure is it's a pretty good feeling. So,
well, it's pretty amazing too because baseball's a sport in which you can hit the ball very poorly and still get a hit out of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of grass out there.
Here's a text message. Typical Twins player sit as much as possible while collecting a paycheck. He basically works 90 minutes a week. The team is soft and has been for years, and the local media has enabled them. Even call for the team to pay players more money / payroll just to have them sit. Yeah, it's pretty expensive proposition. I don't think I don't necessarily say players are soft. Maybe some are. I think that's naive, and that's too broad brush to say all.
Is he talking about Royce in this scenario?
Maybe so. I don't know.
Because Royce has not gotten the big payday yet.
No, and not just that, but I don't necessarily know if I think most of these guys want to pay. I don't think there's many players. There are probably some. I don't think, especially younger guys. I don't think they're thinking, I'd really like to just have an injury, just not even play. I just have to collect a paycheck. I don't believe that for a moment. I also don't really think the local media is enabled. Maybe some have. I don't even know if I can say. I guess I'm technically a member of the media. I don't. If you're injured, you're hurt. That's just the way it is. Somebody like me now, I'm a tough guy. I play through injuries all the time. I've got arthritis in my feet. I still walk. Oftentimes I'll walk 9 holes of golf carrying my own bag. I don't use one of those push carts. I've got shoulder issues and elbow issues, and I play is what I do. Someone asked in a text, what tees do I play? Do I play senior tees? I haven't gone to senior tees yet. I'm generally playing white tees. For years, I played blue. I was never a tip it out guy. I mean, unless the course is, if a course that tips the back tees were 64, 65, 6,600 yards back when I was younger, I would play those tees. Yeah, but whites, and I'm being encouraged by a number of people to play senior tees. If you play the proper tees for your age. Okay, you're saying I'm an old man. You want to call me grandpa? But I know that day's coming, and it's coming sooner than I'd like at 66. I don't really play. I make my own. Some people would say, well, you can't make your own combo tees. And I would say, you can't unless you're the official, unofficial ambassador to Minnesota Golf, and then I can do whatever I want. But I'll mix them up, like, for instance, out at Loggers Trail. I'll go blue, white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, blue, white, blue, 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 white, blue, white, and then depending on how well I'm hitting it, blue or white on 18. So I mix them up. So instead of playing either 61 or 66, I play 64 to 6. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just mix it up depending, keeping it, and that's not really trying to make. I guess I am trying to make it easier. What I'm just trying to do is make it. Baby brother Peter will say to me, he goes, don't you ever get tired of hitting hybrid into every par 4? And after a while, you do. I don't want to have to hit hybrid. Now, when the hybrids are humming, watch out, baby. I hit one today, Tennessee. That was so good. I hit my drive on number 4 at Prestwick. I pulled it into that left fairway bunker. I hit a hybrid out of the bunker, cleared the lip, didn't hit it great, but I gave myself a chance. It was a front pin. I was 176 or 7 in the rough, and I hit a 19-degree hybrid. I just hit a seed, and it rolled up to 8 feet, and I just buried the 8-footer for birdie. That's what jump-started my round. After starting with a bogey on 1, I went par, birdie. The club was my brush. The ball was my paint. The course was my canvas through 12 holes. And then I spun around and grabbed another brush, and I just kicked the paint can all over the canvas and leaked oil the rest of the way. But it is what it is. What it is now is it's time to take a break and get ready for 5-3-4. Tennessee with the tees, please.
Yeah, I think this is my tees.
You like that? You like that?
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
Some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer. the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.